What did ancient American life look like before Christopher Columbus set foot on the American continent? Is pre-Columbian culture as primitive as commonly believed? Spring 2018. The Metropolitan Museum of Art unveiled the landmark exhibition Golden Kingdoms, Luxury and Legacy in the Ancient Americas.
This exhibition features over 300 works from 52 different lenders in 12 different countries. The exhibition begins high in the Andes Mountains around about 1000 BC, and we follow the development of goldworking across the Americas, concluding in what is now Mexico in the 16th century.
Gold was the sacred material used by queens and kings. Gold jewelry and masks can transform a person into a higher being who has the power of God.
It's about transformation. You're transforming yourself and you're aligning yourself with powerful forces.
Big earrings were reserved for the nobilities.
When the Spaniards arrived in the 16th century, they had no trouble recognizing members of the nobility because they all had floppy earlobes. The most remarkable was one that depicts a warrior wears a crescent headdress, a crescent nose ornament, a beautiful tiny little owl head necklace. Most of these elements are removable.
Nose rings were also popular in ancient times. Many jewelry patterns symbolize fertility and abundance.
These would be suspended from the septum of the nose. So they're made of silver and gold, and silver seems to be closely associated with women and the moon, and gold is closely associated with men and the sun.
In ancient America, gold wasn't considered as valuable as jade, feathers, sacred shell, or textiles. The featherwork is far more valuable than gold, made from precious bird feathers.
Around 500 AD, we have the rise of the first empire in the central Andes, and it's an empire known as the Wari Empire. These are 9 panels of what were originally 96 panels buried on Peru's south coast.
The famous Mayan people lived in Mexico and Central America from 250 to 950 CE.
The Maya royal crown was made of a jade ornament that would have been worn perpendicular to the forehead. And this is a royal scene. The center of the composition is a king known by the name of Pacal. And you can see that he is wearing a jade royal crown, as are the 2 figures next to him here. These 2 figures are actually his grandsons. The Maya rulers would let their own blood as a pious act to speak about what they were doing for the sustenance of the world, to feed the earth. And we see that Pacal himself wears a Jade Bar pendant. We also have the Red Queen. She was the queen of King Pacal. Her funerary mask was made out of malachite.
A cenote is an opening in a limestone cave filled with water, and the Mayan people considered it to be an opening to the underworld.
Works from all over were found in the cenote. This Jade Bar pendant was associated with the son of Pacal. Here we see Quan Ou, which was his name, wearing a Jade Bar pendant on a Jade Bar pendant.
Conquistadors, soldiers and explorers from Europe, came to conquer the Americas. They were allowed to rob locals so long as they sent 20% or 1/5 back to the Spanish crown.
These are Mixtec gold ornaments. Those tiny banners at the top have the letter C and a crown. That meant that this gold had been marked as part of the royal fifth. It was on its way back to Spain, but this ship sank and they were only recovered in the late 1970s by an octopus fisherman.
The Aztec Empire was highly successful before the Spanish arrived. The population living in its capital was more than that of London or Rome at the time. They were smart negotiators and asked other rulers to pay tax tributes instead of fighting them in battle.
That this is the world's most beautiful tax document. And it's about what the Aztecs required of the regions they had conquered. Little feather at the top represent the number 400. And then down below, these are the beautiful feather garments, feather shields, jade beads, and then turquoise beads. There's this great tradition of writing in ancient Mesoamerica, but unfortunately, very few of these books have survived to the present day. Most of them were burned as instruments of the devil in the early colonial period. This wonderful manuscript here is exquisitely painted on deerskin that was prepared with a white gesso. This is a history about one of the most important dynasties of the Mixtec culture. This is a labret. This is an ornament that would be worn through the lower lip. The Aztecs called their rulers the Tlatoani, or the great speakers.
This 16th century painting documented what nobilities looked like at the time.
We see Don Francisco and his sons are wearing shirts in the style of traditional Andean garments, Pre-Columbian style nose ornaments and ear ornaments, but they're wearing European style garments over the top, but made of silks, probably from Asia. The arrival of the Spaniards into the New World in the 16th century spelled much destruction and much death. In some parts of the Americas, up to 60 to 90% of the population died from the diseases that were introduced by Europeans.
This painting is made of feathers from exotic birds. It was a gift for the Pope, a thanks for his decision in 1537 that the indigenous people were human beings.
This is actually the earliest dated work of Christian art from the Americas.
So often the written history of the ancient Americas was very negative. They justified the conquest as bringing civilization to the barbarians. Thanks to new archaeological findings and masterpieces from major museums in Latin America, Europe, and the United States, this exhibition casts new light on these ancient civilizations and restores the glorious history of its descendants.